You're tuned in to RBLR, the home of Tampa Bay's RBLR Sports.
4 seconds left. In front. Happy moment. The Tampa Bay Lightning have won the first Stanley Cup. And the Tampa Bay Lightning have won the Stanley Cup. Lightning strikes twice. The Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup.
Hello everybody and welcome back to RBLR Lightning. As always, my name is Jake Ricker. Alongside me, it's Matt Cannon. Matt, welcome back to the show. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we last had our last episode, but we are back. We are ready to talk about Lightning hockey, and we do have two relatively big things to talk about. And Matt, I know for me and you, I'm really excited to get into it. But first and foremost, my friend, how you doing today?
Glad to be back. It was a decent little hiatus we had there, but again, like you're saying, Jake, we got two pretty decent, nuggets of news that we have to talk about and share with you guys. And it's not really news anymore. We're a little late to the party, but at the very least, you guys can discuss it with us if you join us here on the comment section.
Absolutely. Drop your comments down below. We'll try to throw some up on screen. Always love to hear your guys' input. If you're not watching with us live and you're watching later on YouTube, don't forget, follow us on social media at RBLR Sports. Hit that like button, ring the bell for notifications, all that good fun stuff so you don't miss out when we do go live, and you can join the fun with us when we are talking with all of you guys right then and there. With that said, Matt, let's start getting into some of the couple of topics. First thing I want to talk about, probably the biggest thing that I'm most excited for, of course, is the outdoor game. And we got some pretty big news they have released officially the logo for what it's going to look like for this game. And Matt, oh my goodness, 10 out of 10, no notes. I absolutely love this logo. And there's a couple of reasons that I love it. So I'll kind of go through a couple of them really quick here. Actually, I just had the idea that I'm going to make this logo one of my other screensavers because it needs an update. Still got Steven Stamkos on it. So I got to do a screensaver for myself. But for those that haven't seen it, which I don't know how you would have not seen it by this point, but it's a pirate ship incorporated with a little map. There's some palm trees in the background. It says Tampa Bay on it. It looks fantastic. I really, really do, Matt, love this logo.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you said, Jake, no notes about it, and like it. Whoever the powers that be are must have listened to our cries. I know we were talking more about the jerseys, but we were heavily leaning into the pirate and Gasparilla aspect of it. And again, they still have plenty of time to ruin this for us, but as of right now, we're on the right track with the pirate ship and maybe the pirate theme. Again, it's going to be really hard to mess up from here, but again, they are on the right track. And again, no notes. It looks great so far.
And like just some of the details, right? It's the colors look good. It's got that old pirate ship feel with a lot of blue in it, of course, for the Lightning. It's got lightning bolts as tears in the flag. Like that is an awesome detail that I absolutely love. I love that it says Tampa Bay on it. I need to go find back specifically where they kind of detailed each thing because I can't remember. There's a reason. There's like it looks like white snow peaks kind of in it. And I can't remember why they put that in there, but there's a reason for it. You get the little cannons down at the bottom, the waves. I mean, it looks so good. That is a patch I will have proud to have on my jersey without a jersey ad. Also, I just thought about this. When it comes time to buy these jerseys for the outdoor game, I better be able to buy it without a jersey ad because that is a non-negotiable. But that's for the jerseys. But this patch looks great. It really does. And the whole logo. We got the 2026 at the top, of course, the NHL logo. I like that the NHL logo is also like small. It's not overpowering either. It fits in there nicely. And you got the Navy Federal Credit Union, the sponsor of this too. But it's really well done. It is really, really well done. And I love, like you were kind of saying there, Matt, they leaned into this pirate theme, right? Because, listen, they're playing at Raymond James Stadium. This is the big part of Tampa Bay, right? They've got the pirate ship. That's what the Bucs are known for, and they are leaning into that. It's crazy to me, and we were talking about this before we started the show, Matt, like in the Super Bowl. And I get this is a little different. Super Bowl is supposed to be a neutral site, and the Bucs ended up making it, which is a really awesome thing. But, like, they didn't use the pirate ship in that Super Bowl, which is just crazy to me. You can't. I've seen some concerts at Raymond James Stadium. I think it was AC/DC, and they got their one song, and for those about to rock, and they shoot the cannon off. It is AC/DC, isn't it right? I don't remember the band's mixed up, but anyway, they didn't use the pirate ship to shoot. Like, how do you not use the pirate ship in that situation? You got to use the pirate ship. Use your surroundings. Use those things that are built that make Tampa what they are. So I love that they're doing this. Love it.
Yeah, I understand the argument
of
not letting the Bucs do it, but like we were talking about this pre-show, let both teams do it. But it doesn't matter. This is, different sport, different league. The Blue Jackets, they have a, old Civil War cannon in their arena. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't utilize the cannons. It's one of the coolest, gimmicks in, any stadium. Tampa's really good about that. People love the Tesla coils. I love that. People love the pirate ship and the cannons. You'd be a fool not to utilize that. So
what are the Rays going to put in their new stadium? You got lighting with the Tesla coils, Bucs with the pirate ship. The Rays, when they build their new stadium in Tampa, are going to have to put something in.
More Stingrays.
We'll leave that for the Rays podcast. Well, yeah, actually, you know what? That's true. They've got the tank. Obviously not right now because of the hurricane situation. But yeah, you got the tank. So all three teams in Tampa. Do the Rowdies have anything? I don't think they do. I don't know what they would have. They need something too.
Rowdy fans.
Well, yeah, there you go. That's very true.
They have Eureka on the sideline.
They are some rowdy fans. Let me tell you, it's a great time. But yeah, all Tampa teams really lean into that stuff, which I think is super cool. And Matt, you mentioned we were talking about the jerseys, right? And how we want them to lean into this. This gives me hope that they are going to do that because they've used the pirate ship and clearly they want to incorporate it with the game. And that gives me hope that they're going to use it for other things like the cannon firing when the Lightning score a goal. If you're going to use a logo like this, I think there's a pretty good chance that we could see the Lightning do a Gasparilla themed jersey that fans have been begging for the actual outdoor game. There's too many reasons for this not to be a great idea, right? The fans have been wanting it. The fans have already loved all the Gasparilla jerseys that Lightning have put out over the years. You are the home team in the Bucs Stadium using a pirate ship. The logo is a pirate ship. I can't think of a reason not to have Gasparilla jerseys as your jersey for this event. I mean, it's just it makes too much sense, Matt. And the logo does give me hope that they are going to do this.
Oh, absolutely. And one thing that I'm also kind of noticing too, and this is definitely more on the speculative side, but that orange in there, we were so far off the rails a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about this. Maybe do some sort of like creamsicle old Bucs jersey. I don't know how it would fit into the Lightning's color scheme, but that orange, it's not exactly that creamsicle orange that the Bucs employ, but it's close to it. So again, it's probably way too early. I don't know if the jerseys have even begun a design process or anything yet, but maybe we can get some creamsicle Lightning jerseys. That would be really cool. Again, just that is such an afterthought. Lean into the Gasparilla, lean into the pirate aspect of it all first, and then we can have that discussion.
I would hope that they've started to design those jerseys already. I can't imagine that they wouldn't be doing that yet. Are we going to get a situation like we did with the third jerseys where somebody like accidentally leaks it so people can see it and get the reactions? You remember that whole thing with the third jerseys when they got leaked and some people started thinking, well, did they leak this just to see what people thought about it and maybe are making changes? Because it took even longer after those leaks came out for those jerseys to actually, they never made any changes to those. But
I do remember that. Yeah.
It was really the Lightning and jersey reveals do not have a great history when it comes to timing. They like to take their time with this stuff. So I don't know why they love to do that, but they do.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think back to the first stadium series the Lightning got to do in Nashville a couple of years ago. I'm not sure when they dropped it. Again, I still really love those jerseys. It's going to be hard to top those jerseys, but again,
those are nice jerseys.
If you give us what we want, if you please us, again, we're very easy people to please. Just lean into the pirate aspect, lean into the Gasparilla aspect. It's going to be hard to top those 2021 jerseys, but again, if you just do this one thing for us, it'll be an easy win. It'll be a very easy win.
You get all my money too, which isn't that what you want?
Yeah, exactly.
All my money. I'm buying so many of these jerseys. There's no question about it. Oh, they would look so good. Let us know in the comments down below what you guys think. What do you want to see for the jerseys? Are you with us on this Gasparilla, lean into the Gasparilla theme, or do you think it might be a little too much? I don't know how it could be too much, but I'm all for this, and I think that there's great potential that they're going to do this because they've done it with the logo. I cannot for the life of me, by the way, find that one picture that explains the details in the logo, but there's a lot of cool little things that are kind of woven into that logo, which again is always really well done by the NHL in general. I've liked most of their logos, so no really complaints there. That's not much of a surprise.
And I'm looking back at previous logos. Sorry, I'm only going to hold this up here for a second, but they're all kind of boring. Like, yeah, there's the state of New Jersey over here. The Nashville one, it's got the guitar. That one's cool.
Guitar.
I think that's a cool logo, but the rest of them, they're kind of boring. Like,
what?
None of them stand out quite like a friggin' pirate ship does.
You're right. This is the first year the NHL has really leaned into this. Oh man, That makes me love it even more.
Right? Yeah. Again, we're very biased here, but at the same time, I think I can be unbiased enough to say the pirate ship solos all the other logos.
Okay, but if you put when Columbus played Carolina in their outdoor game, what was their logo? Was that logo on there?
Yeah, or it was Columbus Detroit. You're talking about the most recent one.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was this one. It's got the Ohio, state flag colors.
Okay, but where's the cannon? Do a cannon. That would have been really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not. I guess it's banner-esque. I don't know, but
it is cool.
What an upgrade.
Oh man, yeah, man. You're right. You're absolutely right, Matt. I'm glad you looked that up. This is a very unique logo, which again, you have to lean into these things in the places you are. I mean, heck, if you did one in Vegas, you got to use Vegas stuff, slot machines and casinos and gambling, because that's what Vegas is, right? You can't go to these types of places like Raymond James Stadium with a pirate ship and not use it. It's just crazy. What I thought about too, Matt, we were talking about these creamsicle things, and you kind of mentioned how there's kind of a little bit of orange in the logo. So what if they kind of do something with that with the Gasparilla jerseys, right? Like they lean in, they do Gasparilla jerseys, but maybe you throw a little hint of orange in there somewhere. I don't know how you could quite, but even if how about the pirate? We're going off the rails again, Matt. This is bad. The eyes of the skull are orange, creamsicle orange.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
There's a little callback to the Buccaneer. There's so many things that you could do that'll be a success. It's going to be very difficult to mess this up.
And one thing, too, we were talking about pre-show, too, is that we didn't, or not we, but the designers of the logo really didn't lean into the Florida, palm trees, beaches, and all that, too. Like, you really stuck on brand with the pirate in the Gasparilla theme, too. And I'm looking at the 2026 Winter Classic logo that the Panthers are hosting, and they really did lean into it with, the palm tree. I do kind of like the Art Deco font. I think that is very Miami-y, but they don't play in Miami. You play in Sunrise. That's not your vibe. And even if you wanted to be in the big city proper, you're Fort Lauderdale, which isn't Miami. I don't know. I've got my issues. The pirate ship clears the palm tree.
I agree with you. Like if they would have done that kind of logo, but with different fonts and colors and stuff, I would have not liked it. Like this pirate ship is beyond fantastic. By the way, they are starting to sell tickets for this game. They are not on sale to the public yet. You can't just go on Ticketmaster and buy them. There's pre-sales and codes. I believe you can sign up on – I know you can because I did it myself. I haven't got an email from them yet. But you can go on the Lightning website and sign up to get an email from somebody to eventually get a code to go and buy tickets. If you are a season ticket member, I believe your rep will be eventually giving you an email for a code to buy tickets. So tickets are starting to go on sale. If you see them just available to the public, that's not quite happened yet. So be a little careful there. Don't want anybody to get scammed or anything like that for such an awesome event like this. But tickets are slowly starting to go on sale. So if you've got one of those pre-sale codes, you can probably go get one. And I'm sure all the season ticket members will be getting them soon. I've seen a couple season ticket members that have already bought some. So we're getting closer to being able to purchase tickets for this event and getting more closer to getting more information about this event, which again, just excites me even more. I will absolutely be there for this event. No questions asked. I don't care what is happening in the world or where I am. I will be there. You can count on it.
Jake, what is the most amount of money you would spend for one ticket? Like before you go, okay, this is absurd. Like we're both in the same, boat of.
Are we talking
going to this
just
game,
getting the stadium price?
Yeah, like we're both in. I'm going to this game. I don't care. We're going. Like, what is the most absurd price? Because I've already seen some, couple $100, figures being thrown out, which I'll pay. But
Yeah, but a couple $100 is, I believe that's kind of what it was for Nashville when I got to go to that one, which was awesome. So, I mean, if we're talking just get into the stadium nosebleed type of seats, you start getting into the past the couple hundred, like $400 or $500 for just to get in the building. That starts getting absurd, I think. So anything over that. Now, again, if you're sitting down 50-yard line and you're paying $600-700, that's not much surprise to me. Like those seats, I expect to be more expensive. But I would say just to get in the building, I start to get a little iffy at like $500.
I remember I was ready to pay. I
say this as a broke, not full-time employee. So take this with a grain of salt.
I was ready to pay $650 for tickets to Game 5 of the finals in 2021, and like I, spent hours weeding through scammers. People like, oh, just pay me now, and I'll send you their, Facebook profiles created that day or something like that. And finally, I got this guy. He's like, hey, I'm actually working this game. I bought tickets just in case, a ticket just in case. He was a paramedic or something, somebody that was working in the stadium. He's like, turns out I'm working, so I don't need this ticket. If you want, I'll meet you outside the arena. I can take cash. Like, I'll get you in. I was like, okay, like, this is clear as day, like, not a scam. I'll give this guy, what was he asking, $600-something. I'm halfway there, and I lived pretty far at the time. I was halfway there, and he calls me. He's like, dude, sorry. My mom bought the ticket off of me. She's giving it to my dad, like as a surprise. He was like, you got to understand, man, family comes first. I was like, I understand. I commend you, but my God, do I hate you right now. And like I was on my way to the game. I'm like, what are the odds that I'm going to, find another ticket? So I ended up just watching it outside and partying downtown later, which was still a great time, but I was bummed I couldn't get into the game. That
is a bummer.
I would probably pay a similar amount though.
Yeah, no, and this is a once in a lifetime type of event. Like you're not going to have another Stadium Series game in Tampa for a long time. So, and it's not just the game. If it's anything like it was in Nashville, which I'm sure they do, we know how Tampa's put on events. We've seen the Super Bowl, for example, even this Cup Finals, the All-Star Game, all that stuff. There'll be tons of things to do around the stadium and just leading up to the week of the game. So there's going to be a lot to do, so you can't just think of this as a ticket for a hockey game. This is for the experience. So I'm with you, Matt. I would pay a pretty decent amount if money wasn't an object, and we're not considering budgets and all that fun stuff. But
Can the Bowl Report get press passes?
We're kind of hopeful, and we did just get an email today about press passes coming up for this season, so I'm very excited about that. But yeah, that's one thing I haven't decided, Matt, is if I'm going as a fan or if I'm going to try to go as a.
Ooh, that is a tough question.
Right? I mean, on one hand, it'd be super cool to do that for, career-wise, but then you're working the game, and I don't know where they're going to have people situated. And going as a fan, this is truly an event. Like, I highly recommend you experience once in a lifetime. It's so much fun as a fan. There's so much.
Jake, I have your solution. If you get a press pass to the game, go as a professional, go as the Bolt Report, and also you can pay for my ticket, and I'll go as the fan. I will live. You will live vicariously through me. I see no issue with this plan at all.
There you go. I love it. I'm all for it. But yeah, I haven't made that decision. We'll make it when we get a little bit closer and we know more information about that. But bottom line is I'm very, very excited, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I can't wait to start seeing leaks and concepts. I don't think I've seen any jersey concepts out there, which, by the way, if you're into making graphic design, send us some of your concepts, and maybe we'll, when they start more coming out, maybe we'll do a show as we get closer, and we'll just go through a bunch of jersey concepts before they actually get revealed. That could be kind of fun. I'm into that idea. But yeah, send us what you got. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your comments, whether you're here with us live right now or even on the YouTube channel after this has gone and been posted. So lots to look forward to. Tickets starting to go on sale, and I'm sure we're going to start getting more information once the season starts. Obviously, you got the big news with training camp and the preseason and the actual first couple of games, and then we'll start focusing really on this big event, which is being played at Raymond James Stadium. And speaking of stadium names, Matt, the Lightning also have a new stadium name. Let's run through this a little bit because there's a lot to this story here, and it starts all back when the Bull Report actually got an email, and this was sent out to all the reporters that the Lightning were making a major, that's exactly what it said, major arena announcement. And they said, there's going to be a live streaming link. There's going to be, the mayor's going to be there. A bunch of the council people are going to be there. The new owner was going to be there. All these big people, right? Major announcement. And you're thinking, what on earth could this possibly be about? Now, the first clue should have been, they said arena announcement, not Amalie Arena announcement. But, it did cross my mind. Like, is this a potential just an arena name change? And I said to myself, man, that can't be it. They're doing a whole live streaming event and they're making this huge deal. It's got to be something big. I don't know if you saw this speculation beforehand, Matt, but I was starting to run wild with it, wondering what they could do.
I can't remember how long ago, but I remember, I knew the arena rights were expiring sometime soon. I didn't know it was this soon. I didn't know it was going to be this summer, but I knew the Amalie naming rights were running out soon. So I kind of had a feeling that that's what it was going to be, but I wasn't, in tune for the big announcement tomorrow or that day. I just opened my phone. I was like, what is this? So I knew it was coming, but I didn't know how soon.
Well, they had made quite a big deal about it, which is part of the reason I'm very annoyed with what ended up happening. And so I got excited and I started speculating. The gif from Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he's sitting there with the board and he's just like, all the things behind. That was me. Like, what could this be? Is it going to be so new development? Are they changing something about the arena? I was going crazy with it. But for those that don't know, it ended up just being an arena announcement. It was a name change. It is no longer Amalie Arena. It is now Benchmark International Arena. And Matt, I got to be honest, I do not like this at all. I was disappointed because I thought this would be something much bigger than just an arena name. They could have done that in an email. And I don't like the arena name. And I get it. Listen, for the Lightning, they could care less what the actual arena name is. It's about you're getting paid a lot of money to be able to have that company have their name on top of the Lightning's arena and be used in all the events and all that fun stuff. So I get it. I really do. But I do not like this name at all. It is way too long for an arena name. Also, just like, and they did say Benchmark International is a Tampa company, which I do think is cool that they used a Tampa company. That's fun. But also, I have, what is Benchmark International? I have no idea. I don't know who that is.
Some sort of financial merger group, something that smarter people than us operate.
There you go. Smarter people than us.
And, I'm not a fan of the name either. I'm, very hesitant to change, Amalie Arena. It's alliterated. I loved how easily it rolled off the tongue. Me, somebody that, deals with cars and boats and, plenty of mechanical stuff. I never used Amalie motor oil or anything. I don't know anybody that does, but still, it was a good, concise, fine name. It wasn't amazing or anything, but it's something that I got very used to. Again, I'm a big fan of alliteration. So Amalie Arena just rolled off so very nicely. And then this bombshell gets dropped on me. And again, it is quite the mouthful. I was bored in the airport, last week, and at the day of the announcement or something, I was curious. I was like, again, this is such a mouthful. It is 10 syllables long. It is 3 syllables longer than the next closest name, arena name in the NHL, which is the American Airlines Center, which, again, a bit of a mouthful, but Benchmark International Arena, 10 entire syllables if you want to be extremely proper. And again, like at the end of the day, it's a name on a building. Does it really matter? No. But
No.
even like non-hockey fans, non-Lightning fans, my buddy Jack, like he was like, bro, what is this? Like he was even kind of taken aback by it. And now he's kind of giving me hell about it just because he knows how goofy it is to him.
Yeah,
And he
all
knows
the
I don't like
comments
it.
on the post about when they announced this, even like other teams from other fans were like, "What is this? Sorry, Lightning fans, this is crazy." Again, I get it. Like you said, it's a name on arena. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Lightning are getting their money, which is always good for the organization, and it's a Tampa company, which is also cool, but it is way, way too long. And I've seen a lot of people say like, "Oh, I'm not calling it that." It's still always going to be Amalie Arena to me. It's funny. Every time an arena goes through a name change, this kind of thing happens. Now, if it's as crazy as like the Staples Center going from Staples Center to
Crypto.com Arena, which is a horrible name.
So bad. Now, people still call that the Staples Center, and they always will.
But hey, at least that arena has a really good nickname, and they call it the Crypt, which I think is kind of cool.
Okay, that's kind of crazy.
Kind of cool, but the actual official name, Crypto.com Arena, terrible. But at least that has a good nickname.
But like that's Staples Center was such a big,
iconic.
Iconic. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. And Amalie is not quite that. People will eventually start calling it Benchmark International Arena. Oh, God, it's so long.
Can't even do it in one breath.
You can't. But people will start calling it that eventually. And I've said this before too. We've gone through a couple of name changes. By the way, I looked them all up. So here are some of the former names for where the Lightning have played. Now, of course, they've been in different arenas, but you had the Ice Palace was the original, which by far is still one of the greatest names for an arena of all
in
time.
Sporting history. Yeah.
Ice Palace is so good. Then it was the St. Pete Times Forum. Then it was the Tampa Bay Times Forum, which hot take minus the Ice Palace is one of my favorites because it has Tampa Bay in the name. So I actually enjoyed that one. And then Amalie Arena. There really hasn't been that many name changes for this stadium, which is kind of crazy. Amalie Arena, by the way, has been here since 2014. So actually, and now I got to look at this. Ice Palace was 1996 to 2002. St. Pete Times Forum was 2002 to 2012. So that was only 10 years. Then Tampa Bay Times Forum was 2012 to 2014. That was only 2 years. And then Amalie 2014 to 2025. So quite the run for Amalie Arena. I believe that is, if I'm doing math right, is it the longest, I believe?
I'd say 12 years, yeah.
1 year, because St. Pete Times Forum was 10 years.
And how long was it Tampa Bay Times Forum? Because it was technically the same. Okay. It was technically the same company that did rebrand. So
that's true. Depending on how they want to look at that. But so yeah, people are going to start, we'll get used to it. It'll just be another arena name. This will eventually change. But as we've stated, it's way too long. So naturally, people started, what's the nickname? Like they did for Crypto.com Arena. What is the nickname for Benchmark International Arena? It sounds like an airport name, like International Airport. Like this sounds like an airport name. I don't like it at all, man. So what's the nickname? And I've seen a couple, and I want to get your kind of opinion. Let us know down in the comments below. Again, throw your nickname suggestions down there. Which ones do you guys like? We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But Matt, I don't know about you. I've heard the bench as one of them. I think it's the most common one that I've seen going around. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of it because to me it sounds like you're going to sit on the bench. It's not the place you want to be. So I don't love that one.
If I can find a silver lining with the bench, I guess it does reinforce Sporting. Us, we think, he's sitting on the bench. He got benched. But, if you call it the bench, and it's, again, not a very flashy name or anything, but it does reinforce sports goes on here, and it's not just a concert arena or something like that. If I'm trying to find any silver lining, and I'm grasping at straws with that name, it's probably going to be the easiest. It's probably going to be what everybody does call it for like a short quippy nickname, but yeah, there's got to be something better out there, but I think that's what's going to be the one that sticks.
Eureka, our producer, said the Mark at one point. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that I've seen people call it. But the bench is definitely the most common one. what was the other one? Jay Reacher said one that he liked. I did not like it at all, and I can't quite remember what it was. I'll try to pull it up real quick. Matt, the one that I have gravitated to that I think works best is by just calling it Benchmark Arena. That's where my head's kind of at, because it's, the full name, Benchmark International Arena, but you're taking out the international, because I think the international is where the unnecessary part comes in. You just don't need it. So Benchmark is still the company name, the Tampa company, what was paid to be put on the arena. It's the actual name of the arena, but you're just saying Benchmark. I think that is a name that could kind of work. It's not too long. If you want to throw arena in there and say Benchmark Arena, you can, or just call it Benchmark. So that's what I'm kind of gravitating to. What about you?
Yeah, Benchmark's probably going to be it. You're kind of weird if you say Benchmark International Arena. Kind of sound like a robot.
It's like sticking your pinky up when you're taking a sit. Like, it's so formal.
Yeah, so Benchmark International. I did just type into my maps Benchmark Arena. I skipped the international. It did take me exactly to formerly Amalie Arena, so at least my phone's got that. At least
What happens if you type in Amalie? Actually, now that I'm curious.
Oh, let's find out.
What we do here on the RBLR Lightning Show, we find things out right then and there.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
the first result it gives me is Benchmark International Arena, but dang, that's sad. Feels like Stamkos leaving all over again.
I don't know about that. But yeah, I think Benchmark just kind of works. That's the one I'm going for, and that's probably what I will call it. When people ask me like, "Oh, where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going down to Benchmark Arena." I think that one works the best. I wouldn't call it just Benchmark, because then you're like, what? What's that?
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're talking about. So,
but
again,
one other little silver lining good thing that's coming from not being Amalie Arena anymore is that nobody can mispronounce Benchmark. Like, it is what it is. I hate it. It was one of my biggest pet peeves when people would say Amalie Arena or Amalie Arena, which is a bit rare, but still I heard it. Like, at least we can't.
Arena.
Amalie, that would get under my skin, but you're going to have to really try to mispronounce Benchmark.
You know what? That's a fair point. So the thing now is going to be whatever fans settle on calling it, whether it is the bench or whatever, or Benchmark, and people just coming with different nicknames, and someone's going to call it some other weird nickname, and you're like, no, it's not that. It's the bench or whatever. That'll be the thing. But you're absolutely right that you really can't mispronounce this. So
BMI Arena?
That is the one that I've heard. I think that's the one Jay talked about. I can't find his tweet. It was an older one, but yeah, BMI. That one I don't know.
Nah, not a fan. I think body mass index or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just going to be Benchmark.
I think Benchmark.
Must accept it.
Benchmark or Benchmark Arena, if you want to throw the arena in there. That's
you know what? This could be a situation like the Florida Panthers a couple of years ago. For the longest time, it was BB&T Arena, and then they switched it to like Florida Financial something for like 2 years, and then it's Amerant Bank Arena. I'm not sure if that was a rebrand between the banks or something, or if it was just a different, if they couldn't.
Now it's FLA Live or whatever.
Oh no, is that what it was? Or it was FLA Live. It was some other bank. It was a couple of different things within like a 3-year span. I forgot about FLA Live. I think it's Amerant Bank Arena currently.
Now I'm looking up Panthers arena name history. Ooh. How did you get me doing this?
They're so insignificant, we have to look it up.
So you're right. It is currently, I don't even know how to pronounce this.
Amerant, yeah.
Amerant Bank Arena. So it was FLA Live Arena from 2021 to 2023. It was the BB&T Center. That's the one I remember the most.
Yeah.
2012 to 2021. It was the Bank Atlantic Center. So I think that's maybe the rebrand you're talking about there. So Bank Atlantic Center from 2005 to 2012, and then it was the BB&T Center.
But still, in just a very short period, FLA from BB&T to FLA to Amerant, 4-year period or something. Maybe this might not stick. I'm not sure what happened with the naming rights. If it was just a 2-year deal or the company couldn't pay, whatever it might have been. Maybe we get something different.
That is another thing too. We don't know the details of this naming.
Oh, we don't.
I have not seen anything.
Okay, I
don't know if it's out there. I personally have not seen anything, so I don't.
You'd be more in tune. than I would be.
I don't know how much they paid for this. I don't know how long the deal is for. I do not know anything about that. I did not see any reports on it. If you did see it, let us know down in the comments below so we can be informed on that. But, yeah, I have not seen anything on what this deal could have been. But, hey, Benchmark International is going to get their name used a lot more now, especially in the Tampa area. So I'm sure they are happy about it. But
all right, Jake. Now the real question is, if you were John Amalie Arena and you were selling the naming rights or however this all works, if you owned that stadium and you could choose, you had any company, you could choose
I'm pretty
to
sure Jeff Finnick
have.
would do this, right? He's the owner.
Is he the owner of the building? I don't know. Every arena is a little different, but if you could choose the naming rights, you could choose any company to put their name on the building. What wouldn't you choose?
That's a really good question. Because, I know for baseball, I've always said I love the idea for Publix Field for the Rays. Because Publix is so big and sounds kind of a Tampa in general. But I don't know what I would do. Do you have one in mind here?
I was thinking Publix Place or Publix Palace. Again, back on the alliteration.
Ooh, Publix Palace. Kind of like Publix Palace.
Or the Mons Venus Coliseum. But I don't know if that would fly over very well.
By the way, it's apparently Hillsborough County and the Tampa Sports Authority, which owns the arena.
Okay, so taxpayers paid for it.
Which that would also make sense why the mayor and city council members were at this event. When it was announced. Things are starting to come together. They're all coming together here. That explains a little bit there. So
Odyssey Arena.
Odyssey. Oh. It has to be.
Jake, you're so innocent.
What am I missing?
No,
something?
sorry. Yeah. Okay, move along.
It would have to be something Tampa related because I like the connections to Tampa. I think that's always cool and unique. It has to be short. I'll be honest with you. Like Raymond James is a really solid name for a stadium. I don't know.
Ray J is a good nickname.
Ray J is a great nickname. I'm going to have to think about this, and I'm going to have to get back to you in next week's episode. I will have a firm answer for you next week for sure, because I cannot think on the spot of what I would call it. Publix is definitely one I've heard. And the Lightning do have that little area. What's it called? Is it called Publix Park? I think it's called Publix Park.
Oh, yeah, like right outside the arena there.
One entrance right outside. They have the little Publix branding there. So there is that. And wow, I don't know. I know for the Rays, I think Publix works better. Publix Park, Publix Palace, though. I'm kind of into that. That's that. Could you do something with the Ice Palace? Is there some kind of where you could bring that back but still have branding? Because you really don't see any more arenas being called something like the Ice Palace because everybody needs the extra income, as we know, with like jersey ads, for example. So you're not going to have a plain name. Oh, man. You stumped me with this one, Matt.
Sorry. I was really surprised that like Advent Health didn't do it. Like I know they're a huge partner with the Lightning. I figured they probably, would have put a bid in.
Health Arena. I could see that.
A little alliteration there. A lot less of a mouthful.
Not bad.
Yeah.
GH Arena.
GH. Oh, TGH. Yeah. That's short. Yeah.
That's another sponsor with the Lightning. Selfishly, because my you can do well. Now I'm going to think about this, and we're going to get an answer for you guys next week's episode. To give you a reason, another reason to tune in to our show. I will come up with something, Matt, because I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But there's got to be something out there that'd be really good.
Dex Imaging Dome. That's a Tampa Bay company, I'm pretty sure.
Dome is the interesting part that I'm intrigued with right now. Dome is. I kind of like it.
See, there's endless options that would have been better than Benchmark International Arena.
Honestly, Tropicana Field, I think, has always been fantastic for the Rays.
Oh, yeah.
I've always loved the Trop. The Trop, that's another great nickname. So, yeah, I agree with you. And again, I know at the end of the day, It's about the money. If some other company comes across Coca-Cola and offers more money to the Lightning, they're going to take that type of deal. That's just the way things are today.
And you know what? I guess the name could have been longer as well. It could have been Benchmark International Coliseum Stadium. That's one extra syllable. Like it could be worse.
I am glad they stuck with arena because I think arena fits hockey very well. So
the Thunderdome at Benchmark International Arena. It could be worse.
That's true. You do have a lot of stadiums who do that. Like there's a stadium in the Florida State League. For those that don't, I work in the Florida State League. It's the one of the minor league single A baseball leagues. And the Lakeland Flying Tigers, they play at Joker Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium. That I can't stand. And the Florida Gators do this too because it's like, I forget exactly what it is, but it's Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, and then I think it's Steve Spurrier Florida Field. Like it's way too much. It's way too much. And you're not going to call it that full name. Everybody calls it Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. But I am glad we don't have. Oh God, now that I'm thinking about it, is that coming, Matt? Are we going to get where eventually companies start buying the naming rights to the ice, and you're going to have like Coca-Cola ice at Benchmark International Arena?
Even what that happened to the Chiefs too. Like it used to be just Arrowhead Field, now it's GEHA Stadium at Arrowhead, or however it goes. It's two names. It's too much.
Way too much, and nobody calls it by the field name. What do you call it?
No, it's Arrowhead.
Yeah, just Arrowhead. That's another great.
It is a good name, and I hate to admit it.
It's an iconic one. I would say, and really, really good. But at the end of the day, it's just money, and as time moves on, we'll get more and more used to it. But definitely, and again, for me, Matt, it was just the disappointing fact that this was made out to be such a big deal, and I really thought it was going to be something bigger. And that's maybe partially my own fault, but I guess it's time, Matt. That means now that Amalie is gone, you got to start buying. Did they ever sell Amalie Arena?
I doubt it. No. I mean, maybe Amalie motor oil merch, but I don't think arenas do that.
Would you?
No.
Would you buy Amalie Arena merch?
No, I have other motor oil company merch like Amsoil or Pennzoil or something.
I don't know. I feel like I would kind of, because I know the logo that they've used for what Amalie Arena or the Ice Palace or whatever. It's kind of like that. Amalie's got the big glass panel on the side. I'm already still calling it Amalie. Do I need to start calling it Benchmark? Benchmark Arena has the big glass panel. We need to get Eureka might need to help us make a counter for every time we call it Amalie Arena.
Oh gosh,
putting it up because it's by this point it is Benchmark Arena, but they got the big glass panel, so they kind of made that logo with the lines. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I would rock that little logo that said Benchmark Arena. I could see that. Or what might be better is you can head over to shop.rblrsports.com and use code BOLT to get 10% off your order as well. Links, as always, guys, are in the description. Check out the awesome team-inspired merch. Lightning, Bucks, Rays, Rowdies, you name it. We got it. Sun now as well, too. Can't forget about them. Bucks are getting ready to go into their regular season, so a great time to gear up. And again, you guys can use code BOLTS to get 10% off your orders. Be sure to go check that out. It helps support the show. We really appreciate it, and you get an awesome shirt out of it as well. So, well, Matt, that's the two biggest things for the Lightning right now in this offseason as we continue to wait. We're getting closer to really having a training camp, preseason, all that great fun stuff. It's right around the corner. It's going to be here before you know it. We'll still have some more awesome content coming your way to cover all the news, whether it is about an arena name change, the new jerseys. We're going to have a lot of fun with it, but I'm very excited for this season. There is certainly a lot to look forward to. Oh, by the way, before I forget, happy birthday to Coach Cooper. His birthday not too long ago.
Yeah.
I did see that
today or yesterday, something like that. Yeah, happy birthday, Coach.
Yesterday? It was recently. But, yeah, happy birthday to Cooper. Boy, how lucky we to have Coach Coop with us. And he's not going anywhere. So
John Cooper Arena.
Yes, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. They don't have to do that. What are they going to do for John? Matt, you got to stop doing this to me, man. You just spiral and go off the rails here. How are they going to honor John Cooper when he does finally retire or leave? I'm hoping retire. Because they've got Dave Andreychuk and Esposito as statues outside. Where does Cooper just go into the Hall of Fame?
I hope they didn't use up the statue budget with those two guys, because they've got a couple more coming. Coop, Stammer, Cooch, Hedman, like all of those guys, Vazzy, all of them deserve a statue. Put them together in like one big one. That'd be cool.
I could see Cooper being the first coach to be the. I can see him going to the Hall of Fame. That's a long way from now. We do not have to worry about that right now. So I'm not going to spiral it on too much longer. But again, thank you everybody for tuning in and joining with us live. We will see you guys next week. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, hit the share button and share this video with a friend. That also really helps us out. And we really do appreciate it. But it's going to do it for us in this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll talk to you in the next one. Go Bolts.
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.